I don't think I can be any better than what I did, because I think it was an absolutely, probably one of the best performances that I've ever done in my life.
Still right in the second fight.
Although it didn't get the result, I thought it was a very fantastic performance against one of my best opponents.
Whipping it back in, uppercut as well. There's the shot.
So can I be any better? Can I do any better? I can be more focused, less clowning, and I think that's enough. You know, maybe if he chucked that punch, hit me with 100 times and maybe not done any damage, but you know, the one time it did, and that's it. That's all she wrote, really.
All the doubters, a lot of the journalists were saying that Usyk is now up there with all the legends of the sport. The Muhammad Alis, the Fraziers, the Foремans, the Joe Louis as being one of the greatest, and certainly the greatest of his generation. And I'm pleased they've said that, because when Tyson beats him, no one can debate the fact that he's beat the best of his generation, which will make him the best of his generation.
The fun fact is, it wasn't going to change my life, even 10%, winning or losing that fight. Obviously you want to win, you're in training camp, you put your heart and soul into something, and you dedicate for, I don't know, 20 years or something to get to this point. Me.
It's not just about being heavier, it's how you go about applying that. And Tyson's a very clever fella. He's got a clever team around him, so whatever they do, there's going to be a method to that madness, and I'm looking forward to seeing that one as well.
Off you go, nice controlled, right the way down. Average, right the way down, come on. That's better. Building those quads, come on.
Easy and nice, like sugar and spice.
Tyson is much more of a determined competitor that sometimes he lets on. So I feel like the defeat would have really eaten him up, which is a good thing. I hope it did, because it's going to fuel him for the rematch.
I don't see any hesitation in his eyes. I mean, he's absolutely ready to go, and he knows the way to deal with Tyson.
With Oleksandr Usyk basking in the glory of being the reigning heavyweight champion and preparing for his next bout, Tyson Fury has retreated to his training camp, determined to reclaim his crown. The sting of his previous loss.
Do you regret saying that?
No, I don't regret anything. Why would I regret that? You know what I mean? So when we go again, that's it. There's no animosity. I don't hate Usyk. You know, he's a good God-fearing Christian family man. Why would I hate him? And he's made me millions of dollars. I love him.
A fight that many believe changed the trajectory of his storied career now fuels his relentless pursuit of redemption. Fury, known for his towering size and reach, is adding new layers to his arsenal. Honing technical skills that could give him the upper hand in the rematch. This time, Fury is leaving no stone unturned.
It was perfect. Tyson good at keeping.
Was keeping good?
Yeah, I was keeping good.
Reports from his camp suggest a meticulously crafted diet and exercise regimen, not just to improve his physical condition, but also to enhance his mental resilience. The British fighter, sources say, is in a far better headspace than he was after his shocking defeat.
I clowned around too much. Why? Complacency, very much complacency. I think I expected it to be harder than it was up until that point of getting hit. And I was hitting him at will, basically, head and body. So yeah, I got a little bit greedy and paid the price, got caught, and we know what happens in heavyweight boxing. The biggest lesson I've ever learned is always use protection. Always use protection, and never keep your guard down low, because you can be attacked at any time from all directions.
Additionally, his team has focused on achieving a healthy weight gain that they believe will add a new dimension to his performance.
Another session in the gym finished. Now I'm going to cook myself some breakfast. So today I'm going to use an avocado, smoked salmon, double cream, brown bread and some eggs. Back to reality today. Back to the good old Morecambe Bay weather. Rain, wind, cold. Back to the school runs. Back to real life stuff. Can't wait to get back into training camp in Saudi.
During the intense face-off leading up to the rematch, Fury opened up about his thoughts on the first fight and the lessons he has learned.
If I'm one of these two people, I'd rather be Usyk. I'm the one that almost finished you. At no point was Oleksandr Usyk on the ropes, wobbled, hurt, almost down and out. No, that was all on the side of Tyson.
Reflecting on the controversial loss, Fury admitted he genuinely believed he had won the fight, even as the final rounds turned into a grueling battle. "I thought I'd done enough, and I was ready to hear my name called as the winner," he said. The result stunned both Fury and his fans, but in true sportsmanlike fashion,
Come to the ring, I live there. Tyson too, I think. But when we fighters go to ring, more life.
That's when you come to life.
Preparation, training, box.
He chose not to make a scene at the time. Now with hindsight, Fury candidly acknowledges his shortcomings in that bout. He admitted that he underestimated Usyk and failed to take the fight as seriously as he should have. "Looking back, I could have done better," he said. "I understand the criticism from fans and experts, but this time I'm ready to silence them all." However, Fury being Fury couldn't resist taking jabs at Usyk during their face-off. While congratulating his rival for a historic win, Fury insinuated that Usyk's victory might have been influenced by the political climate surrounding Ukraine, which he claims garnered the fighter widespread sympathy. "It wasn't just skill that won him that fight," Fury remarked with his signature sarcasm.
So you really think they voted for him to
Listen,
win?
it was a close fight. Usyk got the raise like he just said. He won the fight, fair play to him. Don't make excuses. Man beat me on the night, fair play. I believe I won the fight, that's my opinion. Just like if you had an opinion, he had an opinion, everybody had an opinion. But he got his hand raised and I congratulated him. It's on TV to see. Listen, I don't think when I'm in the fight, I just take it one round at a time, you know. We're both boxing really good, and sometimes you have success and then sometimes you don't, you know. Nothing to worry about.
Usyk, on the other hand, remained composed despite Fury's provocations. He fired back with his own sharp retort, suggesting that if Fury truly believed he was an inferior opponent, the Gypsy King wouldn't have spent so much of their first fight avoiding direct confrontations. "If I'm so easy to beat, why did you run?" Usyk quipped, adding fuel to the already simmering tension between the two camps. The war of words didn't stop there. Fury was visibly agitated by Usyk's remarks and responded by calling out the Ukrainian fighter's perceived inadequacies. "Let's not forget," Fury said, "he didn't land anything meaningful in that fight. His jabs missed the mark and none of his punches truly hurt me. For him to say those things is ridiculous." Despite his frustrations, Fury's confidence remains unshaken.
Leave you alone again.
And what does that even mean? Don't be afraid of a boxing match, please. I've had many boxing matches before and not been afraid. I'm sure you have as well. You've had 300 amateur fights. You're not going to be afraid of a boxing match. So yeah, I don't really.
Drawing from years of experience against a diverse range of opponents, Fury emphasized that he is not intimidated by Usyk. "I faced the best, the strongest, and the most dangerous fighters in the division. Usyk doesn't scare me not one bit," he declared. Fury promised that the rematch would not only shut down his critics, but also reaffirm his status as the king of the heavyweight division. Meanwhile, Usyk has his own motivations. Known for his unwavering focus on legacy over monetary gain, Usyk has always prioritized his standing in the sport. Once a relatively unknown name, he rose to prominence with high-profile victories over the likes of Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois.
I'm only joking. It's really unimportant to me, love, honestly. I'm here to do a job and go home. All the glitz and the glamour and all this that comes with all this boxing, yeah? I'm not really interested in it. I'm here to do my job, get a paycheck, go home. Boxing loss, what do I fight for? What is my priorities here? What are my goals? What are my targets? And all of those things are to make the most money as possible. For me, that's my goals. It's not a belt, it's not legacy, it's not a boxing fight, it's to make as much money as possible, okay? And to do that, I've got to have as many fights as I can until the wheels fall off this until I'm 50-year-old and I'm crippled on a stick like that.
For Usyk, the ring is more than a battlefield. It's where he feels alive. While Fury admitted that the lucrative paycheck was a driving factor for agreeing to the rematch, Usyk dismissed such motivations. "For me, it's not about the money," Usyk said. "It's about proving myself and continuing to build my legacy." As the rematch draws closer, the tension between the two fighters has reached a boiling point. Both camps are on edge, and the boxing world is eagerly awaiting what promises to be an epic showdown.
You know, it's not really like he'd rather let those two have the he'd rather watch it on TV. That's the reality. So, but obviously he also understands, you know, it's a major event, so we'll see. Obviously, I'm funking for Tyson Fury for many reasons. One, because he's British. Two, I'd love to see him overturn the first fight, and I'd love to see him fight AJ for the World Heavyweight title.
Will Fury's revamped training and sharpened focus lead to redemption? Or will Usyk once again cement his place as the heavyweight king? After revisiting Tyson Fury's recent outburst, many experts believe it revealed the internal conflict he's been grappling with ever since his shocking loss to Oleksandr Usyk. Despite his attempts to brush it off with a cool demeanor, it's clear that the defeat still stings deeply. Michael Bisping, the former MMA fighter turned combat analyst, believes that Fury's efforts to shift the narrative or intimidate Usyk fell flat. The performance that night was far from impressive, and the boxing world is aware of that.
Tyson feels like he was unlucky with the judges. It was a close fight. It was an extremely close fight, but I thought Usyk won it. The judges did as well, and he was the undisputed champion, okay? So for Tyson Fury right now, it's not just about beating Usyk. It's not about becoming the champion. It's about proving to the world that, hey, look, listen, I'm a better boxer than this guy. I'm the best boxer of my generation, okay? Because it's pride. They've both got one. The bragging rights, the winning, the marbles, the titles, the beating another man. That's what matters. Who is the best heavyweight boxer of this generation?
Bisping emphasized that Fury's primary goal should be to prove to both his fans and the boxing world that he is still the fighter they once hailed as the greatest heavyweight. With each passing fight, Tyson's reputation has taken a hit, especially after losing to someone his camp believed was no real threat. The pressure is mounting, and Fury now has to show he's not just the loudmouth he often appears to be. During a tense interview following his meltdown, Fury appeared visibly agitated. Addressing the mounting criticism of his preparations for the rematch, he passionately defended his camp's work.
This man's trying to stir shit up, isn't you?
It's a face-off.
I can see you're a DAZN man.
This fight,
calm down. But you had your little chance to knock me out, didn't you? Couldn't do it, could you? Hit me with 10 shots in a row and couldn't do it.
You too have chance, brother. You too have chance.
You couldn't even put me down after being on Bambi legs. You hit me 10 shots. 10 clean shots on the chin. No canvas touch.
Yeah.
You're in the rematch.
Okay.
Like Tupac said, you hit me with your best shots and couldn't do all. You know what's coming for you. I'm gonna you up.
He insisted that nothing in his approach had changed, aside from entering the ring with more focus and less carelessness than he showed in the first fight. He promised a much more disciplined and tactical performance, determined to avoid the same mistakes. As tensions rose between the two fighters, promoter Frank Warren tried to steer the conversation toward the significance of the upcoming rematch. He stressed that this second bout was a monumental opportunity for both men, especially Fury, to redeem themselves and solidify their legacies. The first fight in May had been a massive success, and now this rematch will allow both fighters to etch their names in boxing history as two of the greatest heavyweights of their time. Warren, as Fury's promoter, voiced his strong belief that his fighter would shine in this rematch. He made it clear that Tyson had learned from his past mistakes and would not repeat them. This time, Tyson will come out on top, Warren declared confidently. While acknowledging Usyk's immense talent and boxing intelligence, he predicted that Fury's adjustments would lead him to victory on December 21st. He further emphasized that despite Usyk's rise to legendary status, the time would soon come when people would be crowning Fury as the true heavyweight king. After Tyson beats him, No one will doubt that Fury deserves this title more than anyone else, Warren asserted, making it clear that this win is crucial for Fury's legacy. Despite the growing tension between the two fighters, there is a mutual respect between their respective promoters. Both understand the immense effort and determination that each fighter has invested into this fight. They may be on opposite sides, but they recognize the heart and spirit of each competitor. Alex Krassyuk, Usyk's promoter, expressed his gratitude for the opportunity to showcase his fighter on the global stage. Krassyuk highlighted that, for Usyk, this fight represents far more than just a title. It's a chance to solidify his place among the top heavyweights in the world. Coming from a relatively unknown background, Usyk has fought his way to the top, and now he has the chance to prove he belongs at the pinnacle of the sport. Reflecting on the first fight, Krassyuk emphasized that Usyk didn't need this victory to prove his worth. It was about securing his legacy. It's one thing to win titles at lower levels, but competing for the unified championship of the world is a different beast altogether, Krassyuk remarked, noting that this fight will elevate Usyk's career to new heights. When discussing the contrasting styles and attributes of the two fighters, Krassyuk reminded fans that size and reach are not always the determining factors in boxing. Historical fights have shown that smaller, more skilled fighters can often outmaneuver their larger opponents. Despite Tyson's size advantage, Usyk's long amateur career and his wealth of experience give him the tools to overcome Fury, Krassyuk explained. Usyk may not have the height or reach of Fury, but his technical skills and strategic mindset make him a formidable challenge. As the rematch draws near, it's clear that both fighters have a lot to prove. Fury is determined to reclaim his throne, while Usyk is eager to cement his legacy. With so much on the line, this promises to be a fight for the ages, and boxing fans around the world are in for a treat. Confident in his fighter's chances, Alex Krassyuk addressed the controversial comments Tyson Fury made about this rematch being as easy as their first encounter. While Fury's remarks might come across as disrespectful to Usyk, Alex and his team are unfazed. They know the stakes and understand the challenge at hand, prepared to face whatever obstacles arise on fight night. Another key figure in the boxing world, promoter Eddie Hearn, is closely monitoring this rematch with hopes of orchestrating a massive fight for his own fighter, Anthony Joshua. Hearn believes this upcoming bout will be even more monumental than their first meeting, given how much is on the line this time around. Unlike the initial bout, where both fighters were vying for the prestigious unified title, this rematch carries added pressure and the risk of career-altering consequences. Hearn pointed out that a loss for Fury could be disastrous, especially given the recent underwhelming performances that have raised doubts about his dominance. Another defeat would send the Gypsy King tumbling down the rankings, forcing him to rebuild from scratch. A daunting prospect for a fighter of his age. With Usyk's razor-sharp tactical mind, Fury will face a far more calculated challenge this time. Usyk's ability to turn an opponent's strength into a weakness, just as he neutralized Fury's size advantage in their first fight, makes him an even more dangerous adversary. However, Hearn isn't entirely ruling out Fury's chances. He suggested that if Tyson comes into this fight with a more aggressive mindset and controls the pace from the outset, he could still make a comeback. Reviewing footage from their previous encounter, it's clear that Fury's punches did land with force, particularly to Usyk's chin, and they had an impact. If they didn't throw the punches at the same time, they could have damaged Usyk's brain and severely injured him. Tyson may be more determined than people realize, and the sting of his previous defeat could serve as the motivation he needs to come out victorious this time. In the end, Hearn believes that Tyson's drive could fuel him in this rematch. But the question remains, will Fury's aggression be enough to take down the calculating Usyk? Or will the Ukrainian champion prove once again that his methodical approach is unstoppable? As the intensity builds between the two fighters and their promoters, the stage is set for a thrilling rematch. Who will emerge victorious? The challenger Tyson Fury or the reigning champion Oleksandr Usyk? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.